think like these dudes are killing it, you know. But in reality, they still working at Kroger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And nobody talks about working at Kroger and doing music. Everybody just talks about doing music and doing all these shows. It takes.
What up? What up? This is Gemstones representing Gemstones for life, and you are in the field with Track Stars. You already know what it is.
Yeah, back in the field with the Track Stars, Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah, whole gang of people in the building today. And we've been talking about the whole music business and how it affects Christian hip hop, streaming versus buying records. And something that came out of that conversation, which we're a lot of us are artists in the room, so this is a normal day for us talking about stuff like this. But if you're a fan, you may not understand what goes into this. So I want to give all of them an opportunity to explain how the money and the music and ministry all work together, because some people may be confused by how that works. People need money to do ministry. How much money do you need? Can you just make enough to just be comfortable, or do you need a lot of money? How does that all work together? What do you guys think?
All right, so I'll start off with a couple things. One, I think that if you're an artist, if you're doing it for the money straight off the bat, you're wasting your time. Don't do it. Specifically, if you're a Christian artist, if you feel like compelled to spread the gospel with music and you're doing it, your primary concern is money, then you're wasting your time. But to create solid art, though, you can't. There comes to a point you can do good, but if you want to make an album on the level of To Pimp a Butterfly, you gotta have a full-time effort, and you gotta have a budget with that, and all these things cost money. And a lot of us actually lose money making dope art for the sake of making dope art or furthering the gospel or any of that. But if you're gonna be full-time, you got bills, you got rent, you got all that stuff. So yeah, I mean, like, money's just a part of it. And I mean, just like any other profession that any other Christian will work, we shouldn't be afraid to talk about it.
Yeah, I say exactly. It's just like any other job. Like, it's no more about money than any other job, but it's also no less about money than any other job. I mean, that's just what it is. Like, you wouldn't go up to a doctor and be like, hey man, why are you doing this for money? You should do that for free because you love Jesus. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And I don't think that it should be applied any different to us as artists. And
let me add one more quick thing. A lot of times people hear music figures and they think about it like a lot of money. But let's say you're working just a normal job. Let's say you're doing a good job. You're like upper middle class. You're making $50,000 a year. You're doing that for 20 years. That's $1 million, right? So if an artist that, especially if didn't go to college, just doesn't have a stable career, you never know when your income is going to end. You never know when it's going to stop. So I mean, if you make $1 million or even $100,000, I mean, the grand scheme of things, you're not set for life. Like, that's like 2 years' pay, compared to a college degree job. So that's just another perspective to keep in things when you hear like numbers and then artists complaining, for like, I made $200,000. It's like, well, that doesn't necessarily like go a whole long way in a career perspective.
I love Christian hip hop. Everybody who I think listening to Track Stars loves Christian hip hop. Yeah. You want to see it grow. Yeah. You want to see it get bigger. You want to see it in more countries. You want to see your favorite artists spread the gospel. Yeah. You want to see their ministries grow. Yeah. I personally am an advocate for independent Christian artists because I do this full time. I know what it takes. I know what money to be spent. I went to school at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. My major is music business. Yeah. I needed to get that information so I can be effective in ministry. Mm-hmm. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't think it really matters to a lot of people, but maybe to some people it do. So me saying this is, I'm saying, look, I'm a believer. I'm a firm believer in the Lord Jesus Christ. I believe everybody in this room is. And I think when certain topics about business and the business of Christian hip hop comes up, it shouldn't be a question of somebody's salvation. Yeah. It shouldn't be a question of, do this person really love God? No, I'm studying the business of music. Yeah. So I can spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. If Paul said, I became all things to all men that I might win some, I have to have a business mind. If you look at the structure of many churches, small and big and mega, whatever your preference is, you might go to a great suburban Caucasian church. I guarantee there's somebody in that office who knows how to conduct business that will help the ministry grow, to promote events, to promote baptisms, to promote anything to their youth ministry, kids ministry, all of that. So what I'm saying, when you hear us talking about numbers, don't think that, oh man, these guys are about the money. No, the heart and the seed of this conversation is not money. It's spreading the gospel and making sure that these ministers are taken care of. I love these brothers in the room. I don't want to see them on the side of the road because they had a dream to promote the gospel, and then they had bad business moves, and then like they had no money, so they got kicked out of their house because they feel like this is the call of God. And when a man feel like this is the call of God for their life, they're going to do everything in their power to please God. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make bad money decisions. They're going to do whatever is necessary to make sure when they stand before the Lord, he says, well done, my good and faithful servant. So whoever is questioning people's salvation and think this is all about money, it's not. If you listen to any of our music, I guarantee you it's all going to be laced and filled with the Lord Jesus Christ. So I think Christians as a whole, when you hear money and you think, oh, this is about prosperity, you know what? We need to prosper, because guess what? Somebody had to have some money to get you the gospel. Somebody had to have a vehicle. Money is a vehicle. God don't have nothing against money. If he got something against, if you made money, God, he said you can't serve two masters. So I'm saying, independent artists, get your business right, make enough money to make a great album to give it to people, because you know what? I find out I got a lot of people CDs and a lot of them trash. You know why? Because they didn't have good beats, they didn't have good mixing, good mastering. How can you convert a non-believer when he listening to Jeezy banging, he put yours in and it's feedback in the back, your beat sound like it was on the Casio. You can made your beat. Right, somebody in the background coughing. You like, wait a minute, I just hear baby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like this. Support these independent Christian artists. Because you know what? Straight Outta Compton came out. How many people who listening to this went and bought it? They ain't go stream. Oh, you know that Dr. Dre out. I gotta go support Dre. Wait, whoa. What about when who your favorite Christian artist? Hurry up. Eshawn the Fear God came out. Did you buy that or did you? Oh, you know what I'm saying? It was streaming. Nah, go buy that brother album. He got kids. He got a wife. He got dreams.
Can I piggyback on that?
Not yet. Let me get on. I got 4 books in me.
Let me piggyback.
So Reese said something and he got passionate. He said, leave us alone about the money stuff. And I felt that came out of his spirit, because he know that a lot of people is muzzling artists because they have these religious things about them. You shouldn't question somebody unless you know them, unless you talk to them. You know what? If you got a question about my salvation, re-salvation, any of these brothers, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have an opportunity to email us, hit us on Twitter, whatever the case may be. And like I said, this come from a seed of, I want to see these brothers win. I don't want to see these brothers like broke or anything.
If you email me, I'm gonna be honest. First thing I'm gonna do is check to see who emailed me. And
you might not respond, right?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna Google you. I'm gonna see what your qualifications are. I'm gonna see what work you've put in. Because what we have right now is we have an epidemic of people that are social media preachers and prophets and evangelists and
keyboard
and people who checking.
They be keyboard thugging.
And so right now it's like and you know of course I was saying to leave me alone stuff, and that was more so of
that was passion, bro.
Well, it was more so of a joke because I'm hanging with my brothers and we're gonna have a great time.
You meant it.
No, I meant it, but the way I said it, no, I really meant it for real, because it's like this, man. For one, it's like a lot of times when you make these comments, like, for one, we ain't even been on the air for 30 minutes. So I know you didn't think about that long enough before you typed that. We ain't even been on air for 30 minutes. So, like, this is my thing. Digest it. See what's up. Because this is what I'm saying. At least before you comment on somebody or make a comment, at least do the research. Learn about who they are. Like, does this man got kids? Does this man, what's he going through? Yada, yada, yada. And, this is the honest to God truth. If it was about money, I personally and everybody in this room, I could make money a lot faster if I would just not
Hallelujah.
involve Jesus.
Hallelujah.
Like, truth be told, you gonna make less money when you start bringing Jesus into stuff.
Tim Tebow.
So it's like straight up.
I love Tebow. I got a song about
But
him.
this is the thing though, man. Like, everybody that has done this junk ain't cool, man. Like, this junk is not what you want to do if you trying to be cool. Like, there's other stuff you could do. Like, we could start collecting sneakers. We could do other stuff, dog, if we just want to be fresh. So it's like, man, you know, and this is just for any artist that's out there. Yes, if people are saying you about money, you do need to kind of just question that or whatever, but don't let people that are super underqualified that ain't never met you, don't let a 14-year-old in Alaska tell you what you about and think about it for more than a half a second.
All right, clarify something for me, because I think some of this is coming from people may be assuming you're making more money than the truth about how much
Well, it
you're
don't matter
making.
if I was making $1 billion.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what my heart is about. And then my thing is like for instance, the person who made that comment, if we was to call them and be like, what you do? I bet they'll be like, man, I shine shoes at the airport. Like, bro, like, you don't know the industry, you don't understand the business, like, you don't even know my wife's name. So, like, bro, you know,
I think this is the question, because I think some of what we were talking about in the beginning was people may feel like they don't need to buy your records, they don't need to support you in that kind of way because they think you already good. You see what I'm saying?
Well, no,
and that's not
that
even
ain't
true for a lot of artists.
What I'm talking about right now, and what we talking about is the fact that we were having a discussion among friends, and somebody will make a comment like, "Where is God at?" He's in all of our hearts. He's in everything that we do. There was a time I remember before I started music, I had $40 to my name. This man Brinson called me and said, "Hey, bro, I was praying and you came up. Hey, come to the house." This man gave me a notebook and it had $100 in it. Man, this man ain't know it. I went home and cried like a baby because I was about to give up. That's where God at. And the stuff we do that y'all don't get access to. Y'all don't get to see that stuff. You don't get to see me fast, and you don't get to see me pray, because I don't put that on the album. I don't put that on YouTube.
For what? It's in secret so God can reward you openly. That's
Right.
what the word
But
say.
I think what Sean's saying is, I think there is a false facade of some of these Christian rap artists about how good they are. People look at it and think like these dudes are killing it. You know, but in reality, they still working at Kroger. Yeah. You know what I mean? And nobody talks about working at Kroger and doing music. Everybody just talks about doing music and doing all these shows. They're taking pictures in different cities. You know what I mean? So and we think in terms of artists and ministers of the gospel, other people are looking at it as you are up here. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to get there, but they don't realize the hustle, the grind, the blood, sweat, and tears, the working the job full time and working the ministry full time, all at the same time, working 100-hour a week. You know what I mean?
You know what?
Y'all are
you know-
superstars to them.
You know what? You know what?
It's
It's a good topic
That's a
for
good
track
point.
stars. From when people come, you should ask an artist a horror story. Say, you know what? I know you've been on the road. Give me a horror story. I think that'll put a lot of things in perspective because we all got them. We got horror stories. We
This the thing. Y'all don't buy the track on there that get the real stuff.
trees in the forest on
Y'all don't buy
on
y'all
Until
don't
We
buy
Meet
my
Again.
mess. Y'all buy until I pass out.
Hold on. Trees in the
Y'all
forest.
ain't buy my mess. I looked at my iTunes thing. That's the least selling record.
That's
But
the least selling record. But
That's
that's
my story. But y'all don't.
Right.
Y'all ain't want that. Y'all want to see me turn up.
See, if you buy Trees in the Forest on my album, you'll hear so much realness because I made that album out of pure pain. See, but you know what I'm saying? Radio, and it's nothing against radio, DJ. Radio want to play the turn up stuff. If you want to get the heart of the artist, don't buy the single, buy the album.
And let
Because
me-
you're going to miss so much.
I miss a lot of the
You're going to miss.
And let me just say this.
essence.
And let me just say this too. Radio, I love y'all. Keep playing me, Uncle Reese.
Now, just to back up Uncle Reese and Brinson, it all comes down to heart condition. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to. I tell my team all the time. We talk to each other, and you don't have to constantly throw God in it. Constantly keep mentioning it if your heart is right. Because at the end of the day, everything you do is going to be evolved around that. Whether it's your everyday, day-to-day, or picking music, selling music, it's all going to go back, whether it be offering or paying bills or, you know what I'm saying, lending a helping hand to people. If your heart is right, everything is going to make room for itself.
Yeah, man.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I think like he said, like Scott Free was saying, like I think people automatically think money. I think a lot of people think like you're doing gospel music, so why is always like where's the money coming from? One, where's this like why are you why is money even in a talk about dealing with gospel? And I think that's something that people got to see, that it does take ministry takes. It costs money to do anything you want to do, even for God. It costs. I mean, we can go around the room, even for people who's not near the mic, if they want to do something, how much it costs them to get a CD out or cost them to do their dream. They might not even want to do music. They may just want to they may just want to be a teacher, or they want to be something like that. That costs that, you know what I'm saying? So stuff costs that people just, they don't have the idea of what it costs.
Here's the end of a facade. If you follow gospel music, the people who've been on top of the gospel game been on it for the past 20 years. Right. Kurt Franklin was on the top when I was in middle school. You know what I'm saying? But
he's still on top. Yeah.
To say that, you got to have the money and the machine to stay in these places, because it's not, let me help people. It's not because of talent. It's because you have enough money to get placements. It's called placements. I mean, you could be an artist and it might be a big nighttime TV show you get on, or it might be a big radio station you get on. Did you get there because you're such a great rapper? No. You got there because you hired an ad agency that has windows to these places. How do you think stars get on the Tonight Show and they got a movie come out? It's not because the movie is so great. It's because they had a advertisement budget, and they say, hey, we have to pay this company so you can get on this show, and this show. How do you think when you go to these websites, these people stay on these websites for 3 months because their album come out? It's not because their album great. It's because they paid for advertisement.
All right, man. Let's get back into it. You in the field with the track stars Ryan Righteous, Sean Tanner, DJ Jeremiah. Let's go.
T1, lights, camera, Brinson, yeah. Don't try me, don't do that. Yeah, I'm about that. Don't try me.